Hi, my name is Nikki Peyman, and I'm an ally.
Do you have anything in mind that you want to share with the LGBTQ plus community?
You know, and just like when I talk to anybody, you know, they always want to know, you know, I'm an ally. You know, I've always been an ally. I think it's hit close to home, you know, when our daughter came out to us a couple years ago. So now it's personal, you know, because I've always wanted my children to have what I had.
Right.
So I want to make sure she has what I have. And the only way I can do that is to get involved.
True.
So that's kind of what I tell people when they ask me, you know, why I'm, you know, because yeah, I've always been an ally.
How was the whole thing with Stephanie coming out, and how did that happen?
I was the last to know. I don't know. I've raised my children to be their selves. It's like always like the authentic self,
Right.
Regardless of what that is. So I was kind of hurt when I was the last one to know. I mean, I always suspected, but you know, it was a little disheartening.
Yeah.
You know, because I like people. It's not a gay thing. It's not a female, male, whatever. It's a human thing. I like people. I like nice people, and I can dislike gay people. I can dislike women, men. And it doesn't have anything to do with that. It has to do with the person, who you are.
Did your life change after she came out?
I'm always liking to educate myself, but with her, I really made a concerted effort to really, because I didn't know what pansexual was. So I went online and visited some groups. It's amazing to me that people in the gay community can be just as judgmental of people who are heterosexual trying to learn. That took me a little bit, because in some of the groups they're like, oh, well, you're like, I'm thinking I was there to put them down or whatever, but I was just asking questions because I truly wanted to learn, and I had told them what my story was with my daughter, and you know, for me to grow and learn and try to be more of an advocate for her, I needed to have information. I needed, you know, and I had some people pretty much saying I wasn't welcome, and that was took me. It was kind of flabbergasted, you know, and then hearing people where I am on a pride board, and had a few people say that I shouldn't be because I'm not gay and I don't understand the plight of the gay people and the gay community. I was like, no, I don't. I'm not gay. I don't understand. What I do understand is the privilege. It's really being heterosexual. It's a privilege almost, where it shouldn't be, and it should be a right of everyone to have the same rights. So I don't like the inequality. I know that. I know it's not right, and I want to do something about it. So the only way to do something about it is to get involved.
How long ago was it that she came out to you?
2.5 years ago.
2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Personally, from my standpoint, I would have never guessed. So, I mean, because between you and Steve and being this like strong allies and like go-getters, and you know, we need that in the community. So, thank you. That's coming from me. Thank you.
Right. I think it's at the core of who I am. I think that's when you're raised. You know, my parents raised me to be true to myself. And and to accept people. I mean, really, we're a melting pot in this world. You can't say one is better than the other. We all bring unique things to the table, you know, and you don't have to agree with somebody, but I think you have to understand that everyone has a right to how they feel and how they want to live their life. I've never felt comfortable telling someone else what's right and what's wrong, because it's not my place. Now for my children, I have to instill in them what I believe is right and wrong. But we all have free will, so I hope that I give my kids the tools to go out into the world and make that happen and live their truth. I tell Stephanie that all the time, is to live her truth, because you can't beat someone over the head with, I'm gay, I get it, you're gay. That's one part of you. It's not who you are, it's one part of you. I was like, so if you live who you are, it's more than beating someone over the head with it. To me, it means more. It's like actions speak louder than words, and I've always felt that way. People can say they're an ally, they can say but you have to, proof is in the pudding. Show me what you're doing to back up what you're saying.
What advice would you give to parents that just recently found out about their child, they're in no way wanting to be mean to their children, but they want to give help to their children? What would your advice be for them?
For me, I was trying to find resources. There really wasn't anything in the area. I was at one of the Pride dances, and PFLAG was there. And I went to a couple of their meetings, and it was very helpful. There was a lot of parents there, parents of transgenders, parents of, with gay daughters and gay sons, and some were nieces and nephews, and there was a lot of transgender children in the group as well. And it kind of opened my eyes to, it was more than just my daughter, so many children that have a lot of parents that are not, and broke my heart. I think that first night at the PFLAG meeting, I must have hugged 10 kids, because I was just like, hearing some of the horror stories. I don't put a price on my love for my children. It's not if you do what I say, or you agree with what I agree with, or you be the person I wanted you to be. It's not conditional. And to hear parents putting conditions, because that's exactly what they're doing. You have to be this way, you have to look this way, dress this way, act this way. Well, do we want robots, or do we want, real live children that, hopefully that we raised with good, to put good in the world? I don't want someone to totally agree with me all the time. I want them to have an opinion. And believe me, she has lots of opinions. Lots of opinions.
So today, after the 2.5 years, your relationship, would you say, is stronger, or always been there? It's just more enhanced?
First of all, she's a very intelligent child. So she is one of those that always does a lot of research, and researches things that probably 13-year-olds, 10-year-olds would not research. More like an old soul, I always used to say, because she's well-informed, but still immature. So you have someone who's well-informed trying to talk about subjects that are more mature. Her and I used to a lot of conflict with that, because she could see her point and not. I was like, you have to be able to see both sides of it. You don't have to agree with both sides of it. But you have to at least try to see where the other person is coming from, even if you don't agree with it. I was like, because that's how the real world works. You're not always going to agree with everyone. You're not always going to see eye to eye. I was like, but we all need to get along in this world. And she tends to hyper focus on all the negative and not looking at the bits of good. So maybe that person doesn't agree with you, but they're not all bad. That's their belief. That's how they were raised. I get it. I see it, because I was raised differently than some of the people that she's had disagreements with. I was like, but that's perspective. Not that mine was better than theirs. It's just different. And I think you miss out on a lot in life if you don't give people opportunity.
Did you say that relationship is more communication now?
I think she's matured a little bit, and being a part of, definitely with the TC bowling and the community there, being able to speak to a lot of people other than mom and dad, because regardless if you're gay or straight, mom and dad don't know anything. When you're 14, 15, your parents don't know anything. And I had other people in the community say the same thing that I said to her, and it's like an epiphany. But I said it. So I'm very appreciative to all of my gay friends that have taken the time to speak to her and listen to her concerns and make her feel like what she says matters. and I think that's helped her grow as well.
I personally know her, so her demeanor, her attitude, her smile, everything, you can tell that you and Steve have that good communication and good hold on her to keep her safe and to keep her growing. I can see that just from my standpoint. But enough about me. How are you? How does your husband deal with this?
Him and I, we've always been on the same stance with that. It's when we got married, you decide how you're going to raise children, right? So we don't raise children the way I was raised, the way he was raised. But him and I both have the same kind of moral compass, I always say. We both feel it's, people go, oh, well, you don't like that person because they're gay. I was like, no, I don't like that person because they're not a nice person, or you don't like, that person because they're Hispanic. I'm like, it has nothing to do with that. Because to me, you're a clean slate. There's none of that. It's who you are inside is like who your personality is. That's where I'm connecting. I don't just have to be friends with every gay person because I'm an ally. I don't have to be friends with every woman because I'm a woman. I choose to surround myself with good people, regardless of what that is.
Did it cause any conflict between you and him?
No, we're both, and we've both been, when he started his karate school and just different things in the community that we've done together, we've always been inclusive. It's not like no one left behind, especially with people with disabilities, especially in the martial arts. He's one of those that wanted everyone to be inclusive. Do what you can at the capacity you can so that someone doesn't feel like, oh, well, I have this ailment, so I can't do. So right. We've always been more to be inclusive and let people work at what they could do, at whatever pace they could do. And again, it's like I've always been one of the people to be you. If you're you, it's I don't have to, like I said, I don't have to agree with you, but I can appreciate and respect someone who's real, true to themselves and their beliefs, even if I don't necessarily agree with their beliefs. And you can have great friendships with people like that. And those are the types of things we try to teach our children. We try to be, and for me, it's that lead by example. I'm a very outgoing, friendly person. I like to make people feel good. I'm a hugger. I'm one of those that it makes me feel good to make someone else feel good. Sometimes just telling someone that they smell nice, or it's a nice blouse, or their hair looks great, or just glad to see them. It's the little things that we don't know could make someone's whole day.
So that would be your advice to people, is to make everybody's day a little better?
I try every day. It's complimenting a stranger, opening a door for someone,
Paying it forward.
I call it loving it forward. Because
I love that.
Because to me, they're acts of love. I love people. And if I can say one thing to put a smile on your face, I don't know what kind of day you've had or what hopefully that one little act of kindness, will flow. And it's loving it forward because I'm doing it out of love. Hopefully that person turns around and does that out of love. I've never put destinations like people like, oh, well, this is this and this is that, and you can't put yourself in a box.
Yeah.
I try to push myself out of the box to kind of lead by example. I've done things that were not in my wheelhouse and found things that I've enjoyed to do, like dancing in a group. It's those types of things that we get out of our comfort zone and we figure out those things that we didn't know about ourselves that we really like.
So is there anything else you want to share with us?
Oh, what would I share? So, I did have kind of an unusual situation not too long ago where someone thought my daughter was a boy, and I told them that she was not, and the person said that I was allowing my daughter to dress like a boy and act like a boy, and I was like, no, I'm allowing my daughter to be who she is, and I wish more people would feel comfortable being who they are. So in my thing, that's what I would, if I had to give a message to someone, that would be, don't ever be afraid to be who you are.
Good advice.
Thank you everyone for listening to my story, and I hope you got a little something out of it. I could probably talk for hours. That's what I'm telling you. I
know you can.
and I have.
Would you like a documentary?
It could be a 10-part series now.